The Galaxy S22 and the Pixel 7 are two of the best Android phones on the market right now, and in this video, I'm going to be putting them to the test. I have been using both these phones daily and I'm spoiled for choice on what phone to use permanently because there are some features that I love on the S22 and there are others that I love on the Pixel 7. So which is the better phone and which is the better value for money? Exciting, isn't it? Let's go. So let's start this off with the S22. The design is the best out of all the S series phones that came out this year. The physical aspects of the S22 are what I love about the phone the most. It is 6.1 inches tall with Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front and at the back, which makes it hard to break or even have any significant scratches. So they say. Now, I do not take any chances at all, so I always order a case before the phone comes just to be on the safe side. The back of the phone is where the build quality shines the most. It has a smooth matte finish in purple that complements the aluminum rails that are around the phone. Now, the camera bump is the same design as the S21 from last year and sort of looks like an extension of the aluminum rails. It is also very similar to the square design on the iPhone 13 Pro and the 14 Pro. The right side holds the power button and the volume buttons. With the shape and height difference, you can distinguish both in the dark with ease. Now at the bottom, you have a USB-C port that is standard and the speakers, whereas the Pixel 7 is a 6.3-inch phone with a glossy back and an aluminum frame. The glass frame will allow more smudges and marks, but the snow white or the lemongrass color would hide that a lot better than the default obsidian. The Pixel 7 is just thin enough to give a better grip and comfort due to the aluminum frame and weight, which is a lot lighter this year at 197 grams. It still has that horizontal camera bar from last year, with visual improvements to that area making it an overall better design than the Pixel 6. And just like the S22, the Pixel 7 has the volume button on the right side of the phone, a USB-C port at the bottom and stereo speakers that are really on par with each other. Now, with a matte finish, the vertical camera bar, and how lightweight the phone is, the S22 wins this round with a better design. Now moving on to the display, the S22 is a 1080p AMOLED 2X with a smooth 120Hz display. Now all sides are symmetrical with a single hole punch camera in the center that utilizes a screen real estate. Now the 1080p might disappoint some, but when compared to other high-end flagship devices, you won't see much of a difference. And for that retail price, I think Samsung did very well with this display. It also does very well with the brightness of the phone. Now the S22 has a max brightness of 1300 nits, which is a lot brighter than a lot of flagships that are out there in 2022. Now, so far I have had no issues when navigating my phone outside. Now, if by any chance you can't navigate your phone outside, which I doubt, the S22 has a vision booster to help enhance your experience, but majority of the time you might not need it because the brightness is really good. On the Pixel 7 Pro, the display is really on par with the S22. Now when compared though, the bezels here are much more visible with also having a single hole punch camera in the center that is slightly bigger than the S22. Now a downside though is that this still has a 90Hz display. Now it does make scrolling smooth, but is not even close to 120Hz on the S22. However, unlike last year, the Pixel 7 now reaches more of a max brightness than the S22, coming in at 1400 nits. So if you do step outside in any weather at all, you should really be fine. Both the Pixel 7 and the S22 can now be unlocked through a fingerprint scanner and a face unlock. The S22 has an ultrasonic fingerprint reader, while the Pixel 7 has an optical fingerprint reader. With the ultrasonic, the S22 has a better and more secure reader that also works with wet or dirty hands and is also more responsive. Now, even though the Pixel 7's fingerprint reader is a lot better this year, it is not a better version than the S22. On the other hand, face unlock on the Pixel 7 is faster and better optimized. Right now, it's kind of hard to give a clear winner in this category for both these phones because both of them do something better than the other. So I think I will give this a draw, but comment below on which phone you think should have won this round. Now so far there is a stalemate between the Pixel 7 and the Galaxy S22, but there's still time for a winner, especially when it comes to the battery life. Now the S22 has a lower battery capacity than the S21, coming in at 3700 mAh of battery. Now with a smaller battery capacity, a 120Hz refresh rate, and a max brightness, a lot of people are going to be thinking the battery on the S22 sucks. And you'll be very correct. The battery here is not so good, and using it every day has always been a chore. Now taking it off the charger by 7:30 to go work out, it uses a lot of power because by the time I get back home, it's about 75% left. Yes, I know that I am a power user, but the new SoC takes a lot of power. Now on most days, it dies around 5 o'clock or even before. While on the Pixel 7, it is hands down the best battery that I have used on any Android phone this year. It has a 4,355 mAh of battery, and it has consistently given me 7 to 9 hours of screen on time. I start my day pretty early and end my day by 11 p.m. with 30% battery left. And standby time too here has improved. With using a lot of apps like Twitter and watching videos, it took an hour before my battery even dropped to 99%. And that's pretty crazy. So with having a better battery, the Pixel 7 will take this round. With new SoCs in both the Pixel 7 and the S22 and different Android skins with One UI and Material U, the software experience is going to be different from each person. One UI is great, but it's not my favorite skin on Android. However, they have made improvements over the years. So far, I can say Samsung has the best and the most consistent version of Android since I started using this. Performance hasn't dipped at all in any way possible, it's still very snappy when using it, and if you play games, you'll be very satisfied. One of the best things about One UI is the ability to be very customizable. Now, I have a lock screen widget to see if I have any schedules or alarms and can design it to anything that I prefer. If you're also into applying things and not installing over launcher, Samsung has different things that you can choose from, especially when changing icons if the stock icons are not really your taste. I'm a very simple person, and when it comes to my home screen, I prefer a colorful wallpaper with 3 to 4 essential icons on the front and color code my apps for easier access. Now, the Pixel experience coupled with Material U on Android 13 is a joy to have. Performance has been pretty great without any hiccups. Even though the Tensor G2 chip is basically the Snapdragon 865, it does way more than just the raw power like a lot of people want you to believe. The new smarter Tensor G2 chip will bring better and faster processing to your pictures, better battery optimizations, video improvements to the camera, and of course, improvements to the already brilliant text-to-speech feature. So from the wallpaper adaptations, the widget system, and of course those little quality of life changes with the Google Assistant, if I could pick one Android skin to represent the entire Android ecosystem, it would definitely be the Pixel experience. So with that, the Pixel 7 will take this round. And finally, we have the most important category, the cameras. Now, the cameras on both these phones differ a whole lot. Now, the S22 is very simple. It's like a safe bet. It won't blow you away with its pictures, but it will do the basics and you get the images that you're looking for. It is a simple 50 megapixel wide-angle lens, a 10 megapixel telephoto lens with a 30x zoom, and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens. Whereas the Pixel 7 has a dual camera setup with a 50 megapixel wide-angle lens and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide with no telephoto lens. On the front, it has an improved 11 megapixel camera that shoots in 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second. During the day, pictures from both these phones come out really well. It is great in terms of color and vibrancy, but I noticed on the S22, pictures are a bit more saturated and not as sharp as the Pixel 7, especially when taking pictures of the sky. Now, it looked too artificial than natural. Now, the ultra-wide on both the Pixel 7 and the S22 are great, but there is much more detail and color balance on the Pixel 7, making it better for pictures. Now, where the S22 shines the most is with its telephoto lens and that 30x zoom, compared with the Pixel 7, which does not have a dedicated telephoto lens, but it is digitally zoomed in. Now, the S22 kind of also shines with its video. It shoots in 8K, which the Pixel does not have, but at the same time, nobody really shoots in 8K, and the 8K video on the S22 is pretty choppy, so you're better off just shooting in 4K instead, which the Pixel 7 excels in. Now, without a doubt, the Pixel 7 will take this round with a better camera than the S22 in terms of its wide-angle lens and its ultra-wide pictures. Now, if you're looking into video though, both these phones are pretty good in that regard. Now, with all that being said, the clear winner here is the Pixel 7 as the better Android phone. And a little bonus, it is also $200 cheaper than the S22. Anyway, if you like this video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel and like this video if you got any value from it. Thank you guys for watching. My name is KJOS and I will catch you guys in the next one where I talk all things tech.